Welcome back with the Kings of the East. Today we headed into week three. We're gonna go over a few things as far as keys to victory for our upcoming games this week. We're gonna have a segment by Avery, True or False. We're gonna get into battle of the backups. It's a couple guys down this week. We're gonna have some backups playing, stepping in the roles as starters. We're gonna unpack that a little bit. And last but not least, we're gonna go over some week three predictions across the NFL. So as we starting off with the keys to victory. Let's kind of go backwards right now. Sunday night football. We got the Giants and Chiefs. Conte, what we thinking about with your keys to victory this week?
Yeah, our keys to victory this week. I'm gonna start off with we got to win the line of scrimmage on the both defensive and offensive side of the ball. It starts with protecting Russ. If we could do that, from what we seen last week, he can make some plays, and we also got to establish the run. If we establish the run, give them some a different look. Um, I think we can be successful against the Chiefs. And on the defensive side, we got to get to Patty. We got to get pressure on him, cause him to make some mistakes, and if we do that, I think we keep it close. Second, we got to finish in the red zone. This season, we have 7 trips to the red zone, and we only got 1 touchdown.
Mm,
That's bad. So if we can
yeah.
get down there and we can score, finish, we're in these games. And third, I want to say we got to be consistent on the offensive side of the ball. Um, this boom or bust offense that we have right now. Week 1, we laid a dud. Week 2, y'all saw what we did. Like we got to be more consistent. Establish an identity on offense. Whether it's running the ball first, passing, whatever it is, we got to be consistent in it. And if we do these things, man, I think we could really pull off an upset. I know you guys don't think so, but I think it's gonna be a closer
I
game.
do.
You think so?
Hmm?
He does, but he's a Chiefs hater.
No, I'm not. I swear I'm not, bro. I have no reason to hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a closer game than people think. It's Sunday night football. It's our home opener. Listen, and
Okay.
Patty struggles in the beginning of the season. I've been saying this all summer. I think we keep it close. I think we can get this dub. Not slicing. I really do think we can get this dub. My score prediction for this game, I think it's gonna be a low scoring one. I think it's gonna be 17-14. Giants get the
Okay.
dub. Giants get the dub.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Some good confidence there, man. That's some great confidence.
I like to
Um,
establish the run. I like to establish a run key to victory just because y'all really haven't done that yet. So
Not yet
yeah,
this
that's
season.
that's definitely it's on the top of the list for sure. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
y'all had like 40 yards most out of your running backs, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, gotta
so
get
what
that
makes you
going.
confident that it'll be established against Chris Jones?
I mean, that's just one player. They do have a good defense, though. I will say they do have, but I just feel like something tells me because of how crazy we went passing last week, we're gonna emphasize the run this week, just to
I
throw
just
them
want to let
off.
you know they held Saquon Barkley to 85 yards.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's gonna take it. It's gonna take the team. It's definitely going to
And
like if I, I mean, if I'm talking run, I'm talking Cam, Tracy. I need Russ to get some of them too. Like I need the whole offense to be out there,
Okay.
running the ball and all that. So, like I said, mark my words, we're gonna win that game.
Okay.
okay,
Okay, mark
Battles
my
of the 0 and
words.
2s. Battles of
I
the 0
like it,
2s.
Conte.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark
Did you
my
pick
words.
y'all beating the Chiefs in your initial schedule breakdown?
He did. He
I've been
We
did.
consistent in
definitely
this.
did.
I've been consistent in
Oh,
this.
so you just staying on it. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Hey,
Hmm.
Look forward to
we'll
it though.
revisit that
Yeah.
someday.
Okay.
No, for sure, for sure. Well, it's gonna be real interesting to see what the Giants look like on Sunday night. I think it's gonna be pretty
Hmm.
exciting to see a primetime game back in New York,
hmm
Patty under the lights. I think it's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
got one
nice to
stat.
see.
I got one
What's
stat.
that?
We 7-0 against them at home. By the way,
In
every
Patty
Mm.
era, or
uh,
you talking Alex Smith?
one of them was Patty. One of them was Patty. But it was early
And
Oh,
Patty. It was
and
okay.
early
and
Patty. It was
and
early
and
Patty.
Tyler
Okay.
Thigpen and
Must have been. It must have been Patty rookie year then.
Hey, they
Yeah,
got
and
the
yeah.
one
maybe
in though.
Let me throw
maybe
my
Joe
stats out there, man.
Montana when he played for the Chiefs. Maybe
Let me throw a
those
little
They got
sneaky
days.
they
stat in
one in.
there.
But
Gotta
they
respect
count
it.
though. They still the Chiefs. They count.
They count.
All right, so as we move along to later in the week, not sure the times, but I do believe that the Cowboys will be back in that 425 slot. So how we feeling about the Cowboys this upcoming week? I know how I'm
Uh,
feeling, but how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, we playing the Bears. They're coming off 0-2, so. My keys to victory. My first one's gonna be probably the most obvious one, but we gotta defend the pass, y'all. We can't give up 450 yards.
Yeah.
And when I say defend the pass, I just again, if Matt Eberflus is gonna be running his zone, we just gotta be more aggressive. Like we got wide receivers coming off the line untouched. Like Malik Neighbors didn't get touched at all last Sunday. Like we gotta put a jam or something, throw some type of rhythm off on the offense, and just yeah, play the zone more aggressive than what we have in the last 2 weeks. So I'm looking for that. My second one is I don't. We can't let them get off to a hot start. I don't want to give Caleb and the 0-2 Bears any chance of light or life in their own building. We are going to travel to Chicago, so they'll have a little home field advantage. But yeah, I don't want them to start off fast at all. Give that offense any confidence or that team any confidence at all, thinking that they can sneak in a win after being 0-2. So that's my second key to victory. And my third one's going to be run the ball and a lot of play action. I watched a film on last week against the Lions. I think our O linemen are pretty comparable. We have Cooper Beebe out this week. He got injured last week, unfortunately, so he's out about 3 to 6 weeks, unfortunately. Who's our center, Cooper Beebe. So might have a little struggle in the interior a little bit, but I still think we should be able to establish the run well. Just based off of the tape I've seen for the last 2 weeks, the Bears don't defend the run at all well, and then when you keep pounding them, you can easily sneak it over top with them over the play action. The tight ends have been eating the last 2 weeks, so I can see Jake Ferguson finally coming alive, and hopefully we can keep Javonte Williams going too by running the ball a lot. So those are my three. We gotta defend the pass. Can't let them get off to a fast start or establishing any confidence for an 0-2 team. And we gotta run the ball
Man.
well. hmm
I see this being one of the better games of the weekend. Um,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's going to be a pretty exciting matchup due to the fact because the Cowboys offense already is good and the potential that the Chicago Bears offense has. And this is a great opportunity for them to get right against the defense like Dallas. But with
hmm
adding in Jadeveon Clowney, could the Cowboys kind of tighten up some things on their defensive side? It's going to be, that's why I think it's going to be one of the more exciting games to watch this weekend.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Back to back shootouts for
I wouldn't be
Dallas.
surprised.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised, man. But
hmm
when it comes to the Chicago's defense, not having Jalen Johnson, I think it's going to hurt
hmm
them a lot in the defensive backfield. If you can force, I think this would be Javonte Williams' worst game out of the three, though. I think he's had two really good games, but the football gods helped him a lot. In week one, not having to play Jalen Carter. And then as we see, I just guess the Giants' run defense isn't as good as I thought it was. So I don't know. Chicago, I guess I'm just looking at the aesthetic of it. Chicago Bears, for a long time, I don't remember them having like a bad run defense. So it's going to be interesting to see, say the least.
You got a score prediction, Ave?
Oh yeah. Score prediction. I would say. I think we're gonna put some points up against that defense for sure. I think we're gonna at least put up 35. I'm gonna say
Sheesh.
35 to 17. Yeah.
I like that.
hmm
I like
Keep it
that.
Okay,
rolling.
so you got another blowout for Chicago, huh? Losing another blowout loss for Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, we got Matt
Oh,
Eberflus
wow,
coming back
yeah.
too. He got something to prove. That's the old Chicago defensive coordinator for those of y'all that don't know at home. So he's our now defense coordinator and he's coming back and yeah, we're gonna put BTA.
Yeah.
Eberflus was bad in Chicago. I remember
Yeah, and I know
that.
he want to show Caleb something for saying all that in that story
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
about not watching film. I mean, even
Yeah.
though
All
it
that.
looks like this thing's the truth, but
Yeah.
we
That's what
gonna
I'm saying.
see.
Another blowout loss is going to be convos about Caleb and Ben.
That's a good
Oh
point.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Great point. We're gonna
So
see.
I don't think they can afford it. Um, so I guess we hit to that 1 o'clock slate. We got Eagles versus the Rams.
Rams.
That is going to
Yeah.
be a very exciting game. I
Yeah.
kind of take my statement back about the
I was about to
Bears and
say
Yeah,
that.
I was about to
Cowboys.
say that too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
Hmm.
said one of, so I guess this
Yeah.
will be another one of the more exciting games as well. Um, how are you feeling about these receivers coming into town to play against your shaky secondary?
So that's a good transition. I think this, first of all, this game being at 1 o'clock is a crime. I think this should either be a prime
Prime
time
time.
game or at least
Hmm.
that 4:25 slot going into the prime time because this is a playoff rematch. We played them
Yeah, they
twice
tripping.
last year.
Yeah.
Like both
Hmm.
games were electric. I think this is going to be another one of those. But my keys to victory, I'm gonna start. One is our O line versus their D line. I think this is two of the best in the NFL going at it. And I just think our O line has done a good job for the majority of it. But a lot of our pass plays, I went back and watched them against the Chiefs, and they were giving up pressures on plays that if we could get 1 or 2 more seconds, we could have hit them over the top with some big plays. So I'm interested to watch them. We getting Dallas Goddard back this week. He practiced today as a full participant, so that's a key return because our backup tight end could not block worth a damn. He was getting exposed. So that's my first key. I think the O line has to beat the D line. We got to dominate them up there. So
Okay.
second is we got to get the pass game going. Our receivers versus their DBs. And I'm not saying we got to go out there and throw for 350, throw for 400, 4 touchdowns. No, I'm not saying that. We have to establish the passing game. It has to be 150, 200 passing yards minimum. AJ Brown needs to get early looks. We need to get him going in rhythm.
Yeah.
Um, I just think
Yeah.
we need to get that monkey off our back and get the passing game going. My third keys to victory is our DBs versus their receivers. This is two of the best receivers coming to town. I'm not worried about Q. I'm not worried about Coop. I'm worried about Adoree because he's either going to guard Devontae Adams or Puka Nakua. And
Lord.
Woo! It's
some
gonna
of
be
the
a
best in the
long
league
day.
can't guard them
Yeah.
boys. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
that is something I'm watching. I did watch the game back against Kansas City. Granted, the receivers weren't as good. Adoree played a lot better than he did in the first game. But again,
He did.
It was Tyquan Thornton and Marquise Brown. So it wasn't a lot of talent out there. This is the best of the best. And they gave
Hmm.
us a run for our money last year with Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua. So I'm definitely interested to watch our DBs hold up against them. I think our D line will help in that. But I'm definitely watching the Dory versus Puka or Devontae. And as for
Okay.
a score prediction, I think this is going to be our breakout offensive game. So I have us winning 28-14.
Mm.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
When you
I
say
think
offensive breakout, you mean I remember you mentioned something about the pass.
I think we get AJ Brown going this week. I think we make it an effort that Patula. Granted, I went back and AJ that first play of the game, AJ had a 60-yard bomb. Tight end missed the block. It was going to be a bomb. That was our shot play out the gate, and I think that would
Mm.
have quieted a lot of that. But I think this the game to
Okay.
get AJ going. I don't think we go 3 weeks in a row with AJ having less than 5 targets combined. Like that can't happen. It's going
Hmm.
to cause drama. It's going to cause unnecessary attention, and I think the OCs peep that, and I think he's going to want to make that an early effort. Granted, I don't want to go out there trying to answer narratives. I want us to play our ball. I think Saquon's going to get going as well. I think this would be the first game Saquon go over 100 this year, because both games last year, if you remember against the Rams, he's went
He went
combined. It
crazy.
was
Yeah.
380 combined on both of
Yeah.
them.
He's going crazy.
255 in the first one in the playoff, and in the playoff game he had
Hmm.
another 200 on him. So.
Hmm.
Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown get going this week. So I got us winning by 14. 28-14.
Okay.
Sounds
All right.
good. Sounds good.
I like it. I like it.
Now, let's go ahead and transition into the Commanders and the Raiders. Ron, what are your keys to victory?
My key to victory, man. Well, first and foremost, this is one of my favorite matchups to always see the Raiders and Redskins for me. I mean, all my life grew up a huge Redskins fan, but I always loved the Raiders. That was one of the first teams I was introduced to when I first started playing ball. So got a special place in my heart. So. But with all that said, I would like to see us really do some really good things on Sunday, no matter who's at quarterback. But first and foremost, in order to get that done, you can't be the first team that Ashton Genty gets over 50 yards on. And I mean that wholeheartedly. He's had few games where he hasn't really shown the type of ability that was thought that he was going to show in this league, and pretty early on. I think he had a pretty good outing in preseason and everything, but he hasn't put it all together in the regular season. Don't let your team be the team where he does. Um, that he's averaging 2.95 yards per carry in first two games this season. We're allowing 3.9 yards per carry in first two games this season. We held Josh Jacobs under 100 yards on 23 carries in week two. Now, granted, he had 83 yards, but at the end of the day, you go in the film the next day, you could say we held a runner under 4 yards per carry. So that's something to hang your hat on. Moving on to key two, gotta limit big plays, and specifically the tight end Brock Bowers. Tucker Kraft gained 124 yards and a TD on six catches. Had a few big plays up the seam. And not to mention Luke Musgrave added another 30 something yards in the air. So that's 150 yards to tight ends alone.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
so that's something that's going to have to be really tightened up on the defensive side.
Hmm.
Secondly, I would like to see Trey Amos get the respect, and he's on the best receiver, or we don't follow. Either or will work for me. I really don't want to see Marshawn having to run from one side of the field to the other. Respectfully, I just think he's not at that point in his career anymore. Um,
Mm.
and I do believe that he can still have an impact, but he has to be helped by the defensive play calling as well. So he's still aggressive. He's still a pretty good tackler. And he's still a name, you know what I mean? And I think that he'll be fine just in the right scheme. Lastly, with the second part, we got to blitz Geno Smith, force him into some bad throws. I believe on Monday night, he was like at one point he was like 0 for 11, with
He
a
was
couple
bad.
picks,
Yeah.
on throws over 10 yards.
Hmm.
The Raiders has some pretty good receivers. They might not have them for long, but that's something we'll probably talk about in a few weeks. But with a guy like Jacoby Myers, a guy like Trey Tucker, a guy like Dante Thornton, somebody who's up and coming, a 6'5" guy running a 4.3, pretty dangerous. So got to blitz Geno, force him into some bad throws. Lastly, offense, we are ready when you are ready. We are waiting. We are waiting. We are waiting. I hate that I'm not going to be there Sunday because I would love to see the reaction when Terry crosses the end zone for the first time. But I hope I don't get that chance to see that. We don't play at home for another few weeks. I hope I don't get a chance to see that at home. I hope on Sunday it happens and I'm watching from my TV. Lastly, we got to get a running backs a chance. Um, in week two, we only had 12 carries for 24 yards by two running backs. In week one, we had 21 carries for 152 yards from three running backs and Debo Samuel, along with two rushing touchdowns. So it's just we got to get a running backs a chance, and I think we'll see that a lot, especially if Jaden isn't playing. So, my score prediction for this Raider game, I will probably go about 24-14, in that range. I don't think the Raiders had a type of offense where they'll score enough. Um, I think our running game will get better. I mean, our offensive running game would be a lot better this week because it's a great opportunity too. So, that's how I'm feeling about going into this week.
You think it's 24-14 regardless of which quarterback plays?
Yeah, regardless of what quarterback played. Yeah,
Okay.
regardless of what quarterback plays. And honestly, if Jaden plays, I think it's a better Terry day. If Mariota plays, I think it's a better running back day. We run the ball a lot better. So that's just how I see it for this week. I hate to disrespect the Raiders, but like Pete Carroll said, this isn't the first time. This ain't the last time we're gonna lose. You know what I mean? He was honest. He knows this is a team that he's put together. This is the first year of a rebuild, and we have to go into this game and treat it as such.
Okay. All right.
I think you're sleeping on the Raiders.
Me too, very much so,
Their
I
actually.
defense,
mean,
their defense
They
looked.
got some corners out there, man.
First of all, week one they looked good. Their second week, their
Hmm.
defense looked okay. It could have been better, but they held a hot Chargers team who just torched the Chiefs to 20 and a lot of field goals. But
Hmm.
I want to say that I think if Jaden plays, y'all win. If Mariota plays, I don't know. Devin White
Yeah.
also been looking good. I don't know if y'all been watching, but Devin White look like he's been reviving his career over there.
Yeah,
So
Devin White been
mhm.
eating, man.
that's
Also,
something
I'm worried about y'all's tackle on Max Crosby. I think it's gonna be a long day for him. So I know you want to get the running game started, but Crosby locks down the run game as well as other people on that line as well. But I don't know if that's gonna start this week, but we'll see.
I think the fact that Eckler went. I hate that it had to happen this way. I think the fact that Eckler went down, I think is going to boost their run game because I think Jacory
Yeah,
Brisk. I don't know his name. I'm sorry,
Ja'Cory
Little Bill.
Cross,
Yeah,
man.
Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
he's
hate
def.
to admit
I
that.
agree with that.
I
Yes.
hate to
Yeah.
admit that, but man, like,
He's going to make y'all running game more explosive.
yeah, and I hate to see the guy go down. I hate to see him
It's
get
sick.
hurt,
That's still sick.
but
Because
at the
Eckler
end of
also
the
was a key
day,
contributor for y'all.
for sure, for
He
sure,
made plays. He was y'all third down. Like he's the blocking
yeah.
Yeah.
back. He's the
Pass.
back that could do
Pass
pass
blocking.
protection.
Yeah.
He's the one
Hmm.
that's
We
going to
just
make the
gonna
catches
we're just gonna have to get creative and find a guy
for
that can
sure.
give us that in
For
some
sure.
capacity. So,
For sure.
but I think we'll be fine.
Okay. All right, yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna get into a new segment we haven't done before. It's just gonna be a true or false. So I have a couple questions for the guys, and they're gonna answer their opinion true or false, and then they're gonna elaborate on it as well. So I'm gonna start with Conte, get him out the way. So Conte, the Chiefs will be a playoff team this season. True or false?
I'm gonna go true.
True. Okay.
Yeah, true. They're struggling right now, but they're gonna get these wins. They're gonna figure it out. They always struggle at first, and then they get it
Yeah.
together. So yeah, they'll be all right.
Bump the brakes on that one.
Okay, hey, I'm just asking. They got some guys out. They got some guys suspended.
You're
Ain't
not
looking
the
too
only one
good. Just
asking.
saying.
I seen that
No,
all over
yeah,
national media. I was like, you guys
yeah.
are tripping. But
I
hey,
understand how people feel, as far as history, they start bad, but they ain't started off hurt like this and suspended like this, and I
Yeah.
don't know, that might play into factor into
Now
this year.
I
So
will
we'll
say though,
see,
starting off 0-3 will be tough for them. It will be tough
especially
for
in that
them.
division,
the fact
too.
that the Raiders dropped the game and the Broncos dropped the game, I think helps them. So
The
Yeah, that's
Broncos
true.
dropped the
That's
division
true.
game.
they just dropped the
Hmm.
game. I think I don't know if it was division game. They won and one though.
Uh,
Yeah, they want to. I can't remember who they lost to either,
They had
but
game back from
yeah,
first place at the end of the. Oh no, the Chargers are undefeated, but you
yeah.
see them again.
Raiders might win this weekend too.
Low key.
But we'll move on. Okay. Thank you for your answer, Conte.
For sure.
Next, we got my man Mahad.
What's
I
up,
got a
man?
quick question, quick true or false question for you. Cam Ward is still the offensive rookie of the year favorite?
True,
True. Okay.
true. Yeah, true. One, it's a quarterback award. Like if your quarterback is semi decent, he's gonna win it. Trying to think of the other candidates off the top. I know Ashton Genty is probably was gonna be
Bill.
one of the favorites, and he hasn't been looking good. Uh,
I'm thinking Mecca and Tyler Warren have been looking real good to
and
me.
and I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if y'all
He winning
peep.
that shit hands down.
Yeah, Cam gonna win it, but I'm not gonna lie.
Mecca got 3 touchdowns. He
Nah, I'm
He
knocked out
talking
more
do.
about Shawty
touchdowns
from
than Cam.
Tampa.
He do
Yeah.
got three. He do
Hmm.
got three touchdowns, but he don't have a lot of yards. And
True. That's true.
if you looking at the boy in Carolina, looked good this past week. He had about 6 catches, 80 yards in the tug. Tetaroa.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah,
I
he
think
did look good. I heard his name.
I think
Hmm.
he's gonna be. I think he'll end up leading all rookies in receiving yards when it's all said and done. Because Chris Godwin's coming back for the Buccaneers, and I think that's just gonna take reps away from
That's true.
Ibuka. But if Cam stays healthy and he throws for 3,500 yards and he has more touchdowns and picks, he's gonna win it off default of being a quarterback. And I'm
But
trying. Is there any other rookie quarterback starting right now?
can't think of one.
I don't
JJ
think so.
McCarthy, are they counting him?
JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's
JJ.
not. He don't count as a rookie because he
He's
played.
He
not a
got
rookie.
the
Yeah.
Joan. He got the Joan on his. He got the rookie premier on his chat.
Oh, for real, I
I
didn't
didn't
see
even
that.
know that.
Yeah, I thought I know NBA does that. I didn't know NFL does that. But
Yeah, I ain't
yeah,
never heard the NFL doing that either.
I think Cam is gonna be the favorite. So yeah, that's true.
This despite the rocky start, you think
Yeah,
we see him crescendoing? Okay.
yeah, because their
All right.
division's still weak. So I think they'll still be 7-9, 8 and yeah, or whatever, 7-10, 8-9. I think they'll still be. If you're average and you're good, you're gonna win it.
Okay.
Unless Tetaroa go for 1,200 and they're better than them, which I don't think they'll be. So
Okay. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I respect it. All right. Lastly, we got my man Ryan. His team has some experience against his team. I figure he'd be one of the best to answer this question. And yeah, true or false? The Packers are the best team in the NFL.
Mm, that's a good question. I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna go
Okay.
with true. I don't
That
think
hurt my heart.
I don't think it's with adding the game record and Michael Parsons, they already were a great team. Already had
hmm
a quarterback that needed to quote unquote prove himself, prove his
hmm
contract. Got a great running game. Um, I was down on the hill that they had bad corners, but they showed up a lot in
Yeah,
weeks 1 and 2.
have they
So
been tested though?
that's a good
I
question.
mean, how much will they be tested with those games? With you got those two edges coming off the edge, bro. Then
And
you got a
Lions
guy
got a
rotating in with Edgerrin Cooper. Like, I honestly think no matter how bad those corners are, they're going to look okay. They're going to look good
yeah,
enough to the point where they could win some games. And especially you get some teams in Lambeau and the playoffs. Oh, it could get ugly. It
So
could get.
also you
I don't
assuming
remember the last time the Packers had a defense, and
you
I'm just
assuming they
saying
get
defense.
you assuming they getting home field too when you talking playoffs too and Lambeau. But one, are
Hmm.
he
you?
said they the best team in the NFL.
I know you saying that they're game wrecking D line, but like if we're keeping it frank, they played two of the worst O lines in football to start the season.
The
The
Lions,
Lions got three new starters on their line. Two
Yeah,
Hall of Famers
I
retired.
wouldn't call them the worst though, bro. I think that's a
they
The
little
they look
line,
pretty
aggressive.
good though.
if you got three new starters, bro, and two of them were backups last year on your team, I mean, they look bad to
And
I
that
start the
was
mean,
week
year.
what
one
did
too.
what did they do in their first two games though? Week one,
The
they
f-
got dominated by the Packers. Week two, they
two they
dominated the
played a
Dominate
bad
the
Bears.
Bears
Bears,
team. They played
I
a bad, so we don't
mean,
know. And
but they look good.
The
Despite
Commanders, we y'all are already talking about benching your first round pick. So, and that's really what got exposed for the majority of
I
that
mean,
game.
I
So I
don't
want to
know
pump.
who's talking about that, but I
I ain't heard
mean,
that either.
You got.
yeah.
I've heard I've heard Commanders fans call for Wiley to start over Connolly.
So
Mm.
yeah, you got to really be careful with who you listening to, because I mean, I know it's a lot of people that's
I
probably
know
saying,
JP Finley. JP said it in one of his tweets. That's one of y'all reporters. He was one of the guys that brought it up.
yeah,
Should they go lean towards Wiley, who started games at right tackle for you guys?
Yeah,
yeah.
you got
So,
experience.
But
Hmm
and it's not a
this
way.
is my
It's not like shutting it down on him or giving up on him, but like giving him a
nah, for
break.
sure, for sure. I mean, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen. But this is my thing when it comes to the Packers, bro. Like at some point, we gotta stop denying the type of player Michael Parsons is. You
Oh, I
know,
agree with you.
I feel like he's had enough disrespect with, and Avery, this ain't. I'm not doing no rant about the Cowboys. I think he had enough disrespect from the Cowboys organization on how they moved on from him. And I don't think there's enough conversation about this Packers defense and the type of players they have out there. They got a guy, Rashawn Gary. I looked him up. This dude just turned 27. How? I feel like he's been
Nah,
in the league
I feel like
forever.
yeah.
It's
no, I
crazy.
agree.
It's
I agree.
insane. Devontae Wyatt, a Georgia guy, starting to become
Wyatt.
be getting into his own. Moving
Yeah,
Kenny
I see
Clark
why
was
they gave
big
up
for him.
Kenny.
And yeah, then you got a guy in Quay Walker. Need I say more?
Yeah, Walker's tough.
They're just a guy. So
They are good.
my biggest thing about the Packers, bro, I just think that when you have a dominant, like they check every box. You win in the playoffs by you have a run, offensive run game. You got it. First of all, you got to stop the run. They will stop the run. You got to be able to run the ball. They will run the ball effectively. You got to be able to stay on the field on third downs. Joe Love is showing that he could do that this year. And you got to be able to rush the passer. And you got Michael Parsons of all people, and you're adding him with Rashawn Gary, who's not a slouch as a pass rusher neither. So, and then this is my thing, and I don't want to take this up, but you look at the 2-0 teams, the Chargers, the Eagles, the who else is 2-0? Is that
The
it?
uh,
That's
Nah,
more.
it's a few. The
the
Buccaneers,
Buccaneers. It's
Buccaneers.
definitely a couple teams.
the Cardinals,
Yeah, Cardinals. Yeah.
I know I hate the
uh,
Cardinals, bro.
it's a few teams out there though. Yeah.
But my
It's a
thing
couple
is,
2-0 teams, but
I
there's some
like the
1-1 teams
Packers.
that I think are better than the Packers.
Well,
I don't think the Packers are
that's
better than the Ravens. I don't think the Packers are better than the Bills.
Do you
well, we're
Um,
guys?
gonna
Do
have
you
to
guys want
see.
the? Do you guys want the 2-0 teams right now?
go ahead, say
That's
them.
cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Philadelphia, Buffalo, Green Bay, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams, the Cardinals, the Buccaneers, and the Bengals.
Bengals.
Sneaky.
That's
Man,
crazy.
so
Real sneaky
sad.
too. No.
Hey, but I
Okay.
agree. I agree with most of what you got to say. I just think people are going too fast on these Packers, man. They front seven
So
is
who's the
elite, but
best? If they aren't, and honestly, if they aren't, who is?
right now,
Like
like I said,
right
You gonna
now,
say them?
right
no, not
now.
even just us. I personally, I do think we're better than
Chargers.
them. I think the Rams are better than them. I think the
You
Bills are
said the
better than them. I think the
Ravens.
Ravens are better than them. Those are
Hmm.
just teams off the top. I think there's better. I think we're just going to. They're the new hot. They're the new fancy thing, and they just got Micah. They got the biggest thing. I want to see them play an experienced O line because they play two O lines that have new pieces. I want to see them play with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata out there that we can leave on the island with a Rayshon Gary and a Micah Parsons. I want to see what them DBs look like when
You
there's an
mean
extra
the
couple seconds.
team that gave up
Okay.
42% rushes pressures in
You
week
talking about
one?
pressures? If they're gonna look like pressures when Jalen Hurts
I'm
stepping up in the
joking, bro.
pocket and running.
You know I'm joking. I
I
know that
know, I
shit
know.
don't
I'm
matter.
just saying. I gotta see it against. I gotta see it against where their DBs are gonna get tested because we played them last year, and we tested the DBs and they couldn't stop the run. Now, granted,
Y'all ain't played them.
we ain't played them with Micah, but we played Micah and we played them. So we'll
Okay,
see what it
hey,
look
it's
like.
a lot of Micah
Okay.
disrespect, man. That's all I'm saying.
He's
It's
a
a
That's
great
not
ton.
player.
It's not disrespect
He's
just
a
because you
great
disagree.
player. He's a great player. I'm
No,
saying when he gets
I
neutral,
ain't saying
when he
that.
gets
I'm not
neutralized,
saying
like
that you
when Kayshawn
disagree.
Nixon is your number one corner, I gotta see Kayshawn Nixon guarding AJ Brown. I gotta see whoever cornerback two is guarding Devontae Smith. Quay
You're not in a
Oh,
Walker,
position to
y'all
say
do
stuff
play.
like that. You're not in
Y'all
a
do
position to
Yeah,
say
play
stuff
them
like that right now.
yeah.
Not
Is
gonna
he gonna
lie.
throw it? Is he
who?
gonna throw it to
Yeah,
him?
is he gonna get the ball? Like,
I mean, he did when he played him last year.
last
I
year.
hope so,
We,
man.
we
I
were
hope so,
last in
Last
man.
passing
year.
last year too, brother. Like, don't act like this is new.
I
Jalen
mean,
I'm
Hurts
we
was
not
just
going
have
for
talking
a
about.
150
I'm not
passing
talking
last
about the
year.
Eagles. I'm talking about what the Packers are now.
No,
Like,
no, he said we're not in position to talk about AJ and Smitty. That's
yeah,
what he was
because y'all
saying.
not passing the ball. That's really why. I'm
And
not
it's
like
if y'all
discrediting
Avery.
think
them.
if
Avery. It's
y'all
not
think
only
this is
that
about
they
to last
aren't.
the
They
whole year,
can't.
Hey,
Nah,
huh?
they don't do nothing
They
special over there.
can't.
That's what he said.
They
Chris
can't.
Jones said the same thing Kenny Clark said. I ain't hear nothing from y'all.
Chris Jones and Kenny Clark are 0-2.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know what they
I know
said,
what
bro.
they
Y'all was
saying.
making
I
all
know what they.
hoopla and hoopla.
We heard what they
Okay.
saying. But Chris Jones is 5 months removed and getting 40 put on his head. So I mean, of course he gonna feel a type of way. He wasn't
All
talking like
right.
that. You feel me? We'll see
Hey,
though.
I ain't
If
gonna
y'all
lie.
think, hey,
I
look,
think
if y'all
I
think
think the
Smitty and
Rams gonna
AJ
bring the
not about to
Eagles
get
down to
going, I got you though.
reality.
I got you though. Go ahead.
All right. What we got next, Ron?
I think them Rams. That just would be bump. Them Rams gonna bring
Yeah,
It's
them
gonna
down.
be a
yeah,
good
Gonna
yeah.
bring
game.
them
No,
down
no,
It's
there.
gonna
fuck.
be a good game.
I'm ready for the Packers. That's what I'm ready
he
for.
want the Packers.
Yeah, you
What
want
week
the
is that?
Packers.
Yeah.
That's in November.
Oh, lock in, lock in. You're
We'll
insane.
see. We'll
Lock
see
in.
if Jordan Love hit the shit the bed by then.
All
Yeah, I
right,
think so
man.
too. I don't like him.
All right. So listen, man. So we're going battle with the backups now. We're gonna talk about the backup quarterbacks who will be stepping into that starting role this week. What backup you got having the biggest impact this week?
Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings. I think Carson Wentz. Obviously, I seen Carson Wentz when he was at his peak. I was a Carson Wentz believer, and I'm not saying this just because he played in Philly. I think out of all the backups, this is the perfect situation he's stepping into. The Vikings got a good O line. Chris Darrisaw is coming back this week to play left tackle. They
Okay.
got the best receiver in football in Justin Jefferson. Um, T.J. Hawkinson. I know Aaron Jones is out. They signed Cam Akers. I don't remember who their backup is, but
Jordan
Kevin
Mason.
Jordan. Oh yeah, he was running hard too. The boy
He
from San
total.
Fran.
Totally.
Kevin O'Connell is just one of those coaches that know how to bring the most out of his quarterbacks. And Carson Wentz, I think his talent is undeniable. Like he got the talent. I think he just had bad luck with history, bro. His injury history is just bad luck, bro. There was a moment with Carson, it was getting compared to Pat. It was him and Pat at the top. But I just think Kevin O'Connell brought Sam Darnold back, and I just think if he can get Sam Darnold paid, I think he can get Carson Wentz back rolling. So that's interesting for me to watch. And they're playing a bad Bengals team, and I just a bad Bengals defense. Correct me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I just think that Carson Wentz is going to have the best game out of all the backups.
yeah. He's got a sweet spot. Like you said, he's playing the Bengals defense, so he really don't got too much of an excuse not to have success. So
Not to have
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Carson Wentz to Justin Jefferson. That was supposed to be the Philly connection. Crazy how it
Hmm.
worked.
Yeah. Who y'all end up
Nah,
drafting?
for real.
Jalen Rager, bum ass.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
TCU. Mm-mm.
We
What are
almost
the
did it last year.
chances? What are the chances that Carson Wentz hosts the Eagles in a couple weeks?
I mean, I saw JJ McCarthy's 2 to 4 weeks out. We the fourth week, so
Oh
I
no,
know.
even if
I,
JJ McCarthy's only 2 weeks, if he performs good, if he performs well enough, will
I
that
don't think two.
decision
I
be
don't think
made?
2 weeks is. I don't think 2 weeks is enough for him to take JJ's spot. I think four is
I don't
enough.
know.
I think
Yeah, I
four
don't
is.
know about that one.
He the future, bro. They draft. There's too much capital that went into that. Like they let Darnold walk. Like you gotta give. And he played 2 games. One game he came back in the fourth for y'all. Like it's not like
Yeah.
he
He's
was.
only, but he's played 1.5 game. He's only played good one quarter,
Yeah,
average
yeah.
but you
It
game.
was
think they
one
gonna
quarter.
bail on him for Carson Wentz that early? I don't think that's happening.
So are you
Hey, if
This
they want to
guy's
go to
been
the
on the
saying
team for
playoffs,
2 weeks. Like
it depends how they're rolling. Like they rolling, I don't see them stopping that train personally.
that
I don't care how many weeks.
you saying that you think the Vikings want to return on their investment on? I think they traded up for JJ McCarthy if
they
I'm not
traded up for
mistaken.
JJ.
It
So
might come
yeah.
later. Blessing might
Yeah.
come later. You never know. Who
No,
knows? Okay.
I definitely feel you about that. They're trying to get that ROI. They're trying to get that return on investment. But I think a team that wouldn't mind moving on, and I think they're probably kicking themselves a little bit for not making this decision in the first place. I'm gonna go with Mac Jones in San Francisco. He's
Okay.
the exact quarterback that Kyle Shanahan has always wanted to work with. He's
He tried
Kirk
to get
Cousins.
him.
He's Kirk Cousins all over for me. And with a little better talent, in my opinion. Um, Mac Jones coming into the draft, when the 49ers traded up for that third overall pick, to take Trey Lance, and you had Mac Jones sitting right there. I believe if they would have stayed where they were, I can't remember the top of my head what pick they had, but I think they could have stayed exactly where they were and picked Mac Jones out of Alabama. Now, Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers just invested a ton of money in Brock Purdy, a seventh round pick. Mr. Irrelevant, if you will. Now, that same year that you invest in that quarterback, who not only was hurt in the NFC Championship when you had a chance to go to the Super Bowl his first year, comes a few years later, gets hurt again. Now you got the guy that you always wanted, and he's a lot cheaper, and you got a lot of holes on your team. In my opinion, if Mike Jones could come out here, he got a very favorable matchups coming up. I know he just played the Saints this week. Um, with the lack of receivers that they have, if Mac Jones could step up to the plate, man, I think it's going to be a real conversation that needs to be had in San Francisco.
I agree. That's actually a good pick.
Yeah, that is a
I
good
didn't
pick.
even remember about Mac Jones playing, but I do know that was like a division in the Niners front office. It was Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, John Lynch wanted Trey Lance, and that was a big thing. I remember back when that draft was happening. So I do like that. I don't think they move on from Brock yet, though. That's too much dead cap to take
I
on the next
mean,
team.
you
Yeah.
can't, you
Yeah, I'm
can't,
about to say
but
it's too much dead cap.
it's
But I
going to
do
have to
think
be
Mac
something.
Jones will perform for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
with you.
That's a good pick.
Okay.
For sure, for sure. Avery, what you thinking?
Shoot, I was on the same page. I have heard some reports that Brock Purdy might be playing. He is supposed to practice tomorrow and Friday, so he might
Bet
actually play
he
the
is.
Sunday. Yeah, he might play the Sunday against the Cardinals, but I like the way Mac Jones looked last week against the Saints. I know people might be down on the Saints, but they actually didn't look that bad last week. It was great bump that game. Not gonna lie, I live in New Orleans and I was at the bar watching the game. It was good bump. So yeah, Mac Jones. I agree with Ryan. I feel like Mac Jones looked really good with those wide receivers. He was hitting Jawan Jennings on routes, Ricky Pearsall and CMC. That's really all three he needs while Kittle's out. And when Kittle comes back, they probably get back rolling. And yeah, I think this weekend when they play the Cardinals really haven't played too many good quarterbacks really. They played Bryce Young and I believe they also played Rattler. So they played Rattler and Bryce Young. So I think Matt Jones might show him a little bit something different since he got more weapons, better weapons, and I think he'll have the best weekend out of all the backups.
That's a good pool.
hmm What you think, Conte?
For the quarterback backup, I chose Jake Browning.
Okay.
Coming back to Minnesota.
Yeah. He last week he went 21 for 32, 241 yards. He threw 3 interceptions, but he also
hmm
had 3 tutties as well. I
Yeah, he
think
did.
that this week he settles into the offense. Mahad said Carson has the best receiver. I think he has the best receiver in Jamar Chase,
Me
and he
too.
definitely has the best receiving duo with T Higgins as well. He connected with T Higgins on like a 43-yard touchdown last week as well. So
Mm.
I think, and he's the quarterback for the next 3 months. So there's no debate. He's the guy right now until Joe comes back.
They
He's
sound
going against
Mike
the
White.
sorry.
They sound Mike White.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Never mind. Nah, but he's going against the Vikings. Vikings, their defense, middle of the pack. Um,
hmm
he
Yeah.
should, like I said, it's gonna be a good game. And I think the reason I picked him mostly is because of the wide receiver duo and I mean I didn't know they signed another quarterback, but I think he's the
Nah,
guy
they're
right now.
rolling with Jake though.
Yeah, yeah, and
The
he
best
looked good
wide
in my
receiver
opinion.
duo is crazy though, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
let that slide.
yeah. They throw the
One
they
of
throw
the
the
better
ball to
ones.
them. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you can't argue with that.
Nah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well,
All right,
let's,
then.
let's, let's finish it
Tran
off.
I'm looking at Mac
transition.
Jones shit right now.
All
He was
right, then,
hooping last week.
fellas. So now that we talked a little bit about the NFL outside of NFC East, let's expand a bit more outside the NFC East. We had off with Mahad with the Bengals and Vikings and the Broncos and Chargers. How you feeling about these two?
I think these is gonna be two slept on matchups. I like the Bengals and the Vikings. The backup quarterback aspect is gonna make that interesting. I think it's two backups that are stepping into ready made offenses. So we're gonna see if they could
Yeah.
keep it afloat or if it's gonna sink and teams got to make phone calls until the other person is back. I like this game. I think that the Vikings pull this one out just off the fact that their defense is better to me than the Bengals, and I think Carson Wentz is going to have a solid game plan with Kevin O'Connell. So I'm picking the Vikings. Let me go 21-10. Vikings over the Bengals.
Yeah,
Um,
low scoring. Yeah.
Low scoring. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think it's going to be crazy.
hmm
Browning was good. He put up numbers, but he was giving that ball away when he was in the game. Like he was
Yeah, he was.
turnover happy, and I think
hmm
the Vikings, both John Allen and Javon Hargrave has had a great start. I believe Javon Hargrave is leading the league in sacks right now. He got two or three. Um, they both had a strong start playing, so I think Minnesota pulls this one out fairly easy. Now the Broncos and Chargers, I think, is going to be another candidate for one of the best games of the week. It's a division matchup. Um,
hmm
Two quarterbacks, two great defenses. Like both defenses have been playing fairly well.
Yeah.
That I think the Broncos pulled this off simply off it's the division, and I think it's just time for the Chargers to cool off. I think they've had a great start to the season. I think they played the Chiefs were very they played the Chiefs very well, and then they had an okay game against the Raiders. They were moving the ball, but they were not closing out in the red zone or kicking a lot of field goals. So I think the Broncos pull this. I think Bo Nix gets back on track and they win this game. I want to say this is going to be another low scoring game. I'm going to say 28, actually no, 21-7. I don't think that it's going to be a high scoring shootout. I think the Broncos get back to that defense. I think Pat Surtain shuts his side of the field down. I think they get after Justin Herbert. So those are my
mm
predictions.
My
mm
Lord.
Seven
Okay.
is kind of crazy. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
that's insane.
They've been too
But
hot for me, bro. I think it's time for them to cool down, man. Shit
But
comes to a peak.
that
that's
cool
ice
down that
cold though.
much,
I
I
mean,
was
they
about
just
to
had
say.
20 against the Raiders, and
Yeah,
like it wasn't like it
but they
was.
was still getting down the field. You
They
feel me?
was,
So
and the
that's
Broncos are way better than the Raiders defense to me
Raiders
personally.
defense look good to
I
me. I'm
They
not
mean,
gonna
do,
but
lie. Their
guys, y'all
running
know we
defense
gotta
isn't
go
good,
week by
but
week.
yeah.
they do.
I know
And I'm
we gotta
also
go
going off
week
what I
by
know the
week.
Broncos defense to be from last year. That's why.
I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. All right, Conte, looking like you got that rivalry week with the Texans and Jaguars and Colts and Titans. How you feeling about these?
Yeah, divisional games. I'm starting with Houston and Jags. Houston 0-2. They're struggling right now to put up points, and they're also struggling to protect CJ. Offensive line hasn't been great,
He been
and
getting killed.
yeah, and then the
Sad.
defense, but they have a good defense though. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
The Jags, they're 1-1. They just lost against the Bengals. They've been really good at establishing the run, but coming off of last week, there's a lot of questions about Brian Thomas. He got a lot of flack last week for his effort against the Bengals secondary.
You're not trying to
Man,
die.
yeah,
Trevor's been throwing them hospital balls.
I don't want to hear
a couple of them he should have made a play on him, but I think it's gonna be a really good game. For some reason, like I wasn't even checking for the game until Avery assigned me that trade, but it might actually be a pretty good game. I'm gonna go with. It's tough. I'm gonna go with Houston. I just don't think they're
okay.
gonna.
First
I don't
win.
They got to get off that.
Yeah, they have to, and this is the perfect team to do it against. Division rival, a team that they have a lot of questions at quarterback. They have not questions as in like who the quarterback's gonna be, but just his performance. And then I love the Houston's defense anyway, so I'm gonna go with them.
Okay.
Second game is the Titans and Colts. Colts 2-0. They look good, man. The Colts offense look good. They got
Indiana Jones.
yeah. Then they got a nice defense as well. They're going against a Titans team who they've struggled. It's a rookie quarterback, you know. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I think Daniel Jones sauce keeps going.
I think so. It's just like I said, they're going to get some rookie quarterback. They got Jonathan Taylor. They got a good receiving core, and Jonathan Taylor.
He look like he's back.
He's hooping.
He back.
Right now. He is hooping, and they're feeding him. And they have the better trenches, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with them. I think
Their
Titans-
offensive line looks real good, man.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
I mean, they
I wanna-
always were.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, and then you have fucking Jonathan Taylor running behind that offensive line. Like I don't know if y'all saw him last week. Like he was toting.
I got him in fantasy. He's a dog.
Yeah, so just keep feeding Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Jones doesn't have to do too much, but even him. And the thing about Daniel, he's not turning the ball over. He's
not.
He's
putting
in
up
that
points.
perfect offense.
Yeah, he's putting up points. He's not turning the ball over, and they're relying on their running back. I think
Hey,
the
Rod.
Colts won.
Oh, there you go.
Indiana Jones,
That shit
boy.
coming to an end very soon. my man.
Soon,
Very
for sure.
soon.
Not this weekend.
He got a lucky roll these first couple teams, man.
He did.
Yeah,
I'll
so
give y'all that.
I got the Colts winning 28-17, and I didn't give the score for Houston Jags. I got Houston 23, Jags 20.
Okay.
Good ball.
Shouting real quick from the Colts. If something came out, you spoke about the offensive line.
Yeah.
They they draft on the offensive line extremely well. One bold prediction that I have with the Bengals not having a GM, I think that change is going into next year, and it's going to be an assistant from the Indianapolis Colts, specifically on how they build the offensive line. So just something I picked up from seeing that over the weekend, and hearing you say that again. So Avery, we're gonna move on to Steelers Patriots, which would have been a showstopper, would have been a Sunday night matchup about 10, 15 years ago. And then we're gonna talk about the Jets and Buccaneers.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start off with the Steelers Patriots. I like the Patriots for that game. The Steelers, they got a lot of big names on defense, but they ain't been looking that good to me, honestly. Like I know they got Slay, Ramsey, all that. Like they made a good play on the last possession of their first week against the Jets and won by 2 points. Still allowed the Jets to put up 30. And Their second week they allowed 40, I believe, from the Bills. So I don't
Was
know.
it
It's just
40?
I mean, I'm sorry, not the Bills. They allowing points.
It wasn't a lot.
Too many
It's
points.
enough. It's too many for me for what they got over there. So I like the Patriots. A-Rod also isn't click. He hasn't. He wasn't clicking last week. First week he looked pretty good, really good actually. But last week his leading receiver was Jalen Warren with 4 catches, 86 yards, and he popped off one for 65 yards. So he really didn't do anything outside of that 1 catch. So DK had 1 catch last week for 23 yards. So it didn't seem like they were in a rhythm. It seemed like over the summer, teams prepare for that game one, and everybody can look good because you got all summer to prepare for them. So I think that was the case in week one, and week two they came back to earth, and yeah, he looked like the old A-Rod with the Jets. So
He
I
did.
don't know. I like the Patriots this week. I think they're also at home, so I think they'll get a little home cooking going too. So my second matchup, I got the Jets and Buccaneers. You got the Jets are 0-2. Bucks are 2-0. Bucks offense has been cooking. The rookie Emeka Uboka, I think I'm saying his last name right. Uboka, yeah, he's been looking real good. He's got 3 touchdowns. Like Mahad said earlier, not too many yards, but he's making plays out there, man. He's getting open, and they're looking real good, even without Chris Godwin out there, and even without feeding Bucky as much as they did last year too.
He
So.
looked good
Um,
week one.
he,
Mhm.
yeah, he still looks good. Their offense is rolling. Their defense not really having to do too much. They're staying off the field, so I think that's helping them because their defense isn't that great, honestly, but they're doing enough to win games, and I think they'll do enough this weekend to beat the Jets with Tyrod Taylor coming in. He didn't look that good last week, even though I know he came in the middle of a game for injured starting quarterback Justin Fields, but he's gonna have time to practice this week with this team, and I know he'll be able to kumbaya and whatnot, but I just don't think it's gonna be enough against this team. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks to continue on their roll and go 3-0 against the Jets. So, my apologies. I forgot to do score predictions. But for my score prediction for the Steelers Patriots, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 24-20. I think it's gonna be close, but I think Patriots will take that game. And then for the Jets Buccaneers, I don't think Jets get blown out again like they did by the Bills. But I do see the Buccaneers putting up some points. I'm gonna say 28-10. 13. I'll give them 13.
Okay,
28-13.
gave him a field goal.
Yeah, I'll give them 2 field goals and a tutty. So 28-13 for the Jets and Buccaneers.
That sound about right.
hmm
Yeah.
Yep.
About right.
And
Steelers
so
gave
what?
up 31 points last week, but I do want you to remember one of them was on that kick return that Caleb Johnson just walked out the end zone on.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. I remember that. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. But 24 points still. Yeah.
Still a lot.
Again, for that defense, I feel like that's just too many. But you're right. Yeah. But yeah, so what you thinking, Ryan? I see you got the Lions and Ravens matchup, and then
Hmm.
That's a good one.
tomorrow night, Thursday night's matchup, you have the Dolphins and Bills. So what you thinking?
Yeah, when I saw the Lions and Ravens, I was like, man,
40
that's
Mm,
a
ball.
really, really, really good game. Man.
hmm
Anytime you hear about a heated battle between anybody from Detroit and Baltimore, that's something that you don't want to be a part of. But this game right here, I
He's
think it's
stupid.
going to be a really exciting game. But not for what you think of. I don't think it's going to be, the type of smash mouth, that the Ravens are known for from years prior, or Detroit with, just being Detroit. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think both offenses would look pretty well, but I do believe that the Ravens will come out with the win, and I think it'll be a 3-point win with a score of 31-28. Um,
Okay.
I think the Ravens will establish that run game really early, and I think Lamar will just be Lamar. As far as with Detroit, how effective can Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery be? I think Jared Goff would probably do some pretty good things in the air, but I think that calling card will be that running game, and I think the Ravens will run the ball well, and they will stop the run enough to ensure that they get that win. Um,
Okay.
Next, Dolphins and Bills, man. We all know how I feel about the Dolphins. I do believe that this is the time where the phones start to ring. With teams calling, just trying to get guys, trying to poach guys from the Dolphins. They have a ton of players where they could get some really, really good draft capital. And honestly, if I were in their position, if I had an opportunity to sit and talk to Chris Greer, I would say, hey man, you might want to go out here, load up on some picks, because there may be some pretty good quarterbacks coming out in the next few years. They tried really hard to move up to get Joe Burrow a few years, but they settled with Tua at 5, and we see how that's going. That's millions and millions and millions of dollars that are potentially going to go down the drain when it's all said and done with Tua. Um, with this game, it's a Thursday night game. They're weird.
Yeah.
It's a division game, but
They could steal it.
I think the Bills will go out. They're gonna do things well on offense. And the score is gonna be a score of 28-7.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. I
Tua
like
didn't
it.
look bad last week. I don't know if y'all
I don't
watched
think
that
he looked
game.
that bad
He
either.
was
you
Yeah,
he was
said
they
actually
who?
could
moving the
they could
ball.
have won if A Chain didn't
Tua.
step out of bounds.
Who they
I don't know if you
played?
saw
They
that play.
played New England, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, they ass. And it's like you just played that type of game, and then you moving into Thursday. Yeah, a
Against the
Nah,
lot of
Bills
those
a
Bills.
guys.
juggernaut. Bills a
Yeah.
juggernaut. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
tough test
and
for them.
and then that too. Like,
Mhm.
I think the Bills are running the AFC East, and they're gonna run it for a while.
It's in Buffalo too. The
Yeah.
game.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
That
ain't
might get
cold
ugly.
yet though. Don't do
They
that.
ain't cold
It
yet.
then got to
Yeah.
be
But they,
cold.
yeah,
I would
they,
say, if we being honest, James Cook so far the first 2 weeks been the best back in football.
That's my
He's been
fantasy running
balling.
back. That's my boy.
He's
did
been
they pay him?
yes,
Yeah,
right
Yes,
before
yeah.
the
that's
season
why he's
started.
doing this.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
about to
Right
say
he
before
got
he's
the,
been
and
hooping.
he's showing that he was worth that money.
Yeah.
he got his
Mhm.
bread. Yeah, he's
He's
one of
showing
them
he was.
for sure. All right, y'all.
Yeah. Well, once again, we thank you guys for playing your cards right with the Kings of the East. Really looking forward to these week 3 matchups. We'll see you guys again this upcoming week with our recaps. Hope you have a great week. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all the above. Appreciate y'all.